What's up, guys? This is Russell. We are in another Watcher of Realms GvG video. We are up against the Ultimate, and they're kind of living up to it. This has been quite a tough war for us. I'm recording this intro after my attacks, so if you sense a lack of excitement, it's definitely there. Apologies for the spoiler there, but let's get into it and see how things went, and we'll do a little recap at the end, and thanks for joining us. Alright, we're filming this one before the intro, before anything else, because I just spent at least, oh god, almost 2 hours practicing on this fight. It has been a hell of a defense to go up against. I'm gonna keep the commentary, keep the train of thought light, because it's still fresh in my head and the timing is a bitch. So I'm gonna load this up here and see if we can't get it done. I've got it consistently on our guildies, so here, and there's my dog. Apologies for that, but we're not stopping for anything. Now, we are going to be going slow because, like I said, the timing is a bitch and I cannot get this. Cannot get this wrong. I'm not going to be able to mute my dog or anything, so please bear with me. Alright, we have our Lego flyer with his cover. And we need to get everything launched as quick as possible. That means the healer immediately. There we go. And we're not done yet. We have to wait for healer number 2. So apologies again for the spaz attack. We just kind of got to live with it. And that's it. Nothing else can be done. We just hope and pray. Praetus is hammering on them, but all I need is that Lego flyer to get past. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Now I need him to kill greed. And we get that done. There it is. Send in the dogs. All right. And we have a win. Oh, yes. This has been one of the most difficult defenses I've ever gone up against, and I am so happy to get a W against it. That was beautiful. We're not stopping there. We're immediately going in for round 2 because we need the points, and honestly, there's not a whole lot left. I'm recording on day 2 here, which means I think this is the last keep available, and like I said, there's not a lot left, so I'm going to try and take off as much of this as possible, and hopefully a fellow guildie can finish it off and, I don't know, maybe get us inside the bubble. Doesn't matter. I'm going for the points. Again, timing is super tight, so we're going to handle this pretty slow. Get our spaz attack going. ASAP Rocky, dump that Lego flyer. Give him his cover. Healer 1. Again, I apologize for that. It's the only way I know how to get this right. Open prey. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, testicles crossed, everything. Oh, and we even got a rare flyer to go through. This is the only inconsistent part that I saw in my testing, and it's a great inconsistency to have, is sometimes extra stuff goes through. Not really going to complain about that, am I? Kill greed. And let loose the dogs. And there we go. Beautiful, beautiful wins. Love to see it. Want nothing but it. Real quick here, I just wanted to come in and break down the affiliation here, because not only was the timings very important, the affiliation was incredibly important to those last wins. Here we had our legendary flyer affiliated to the biggest baller on my account, which is... oh, it's not going to show me. Well, let me just show you the order here first. The Lego flyer affiliated to the first highest, the rare flyer associated to the second highest, the healer third highest. He needs to be here. All of these need to be in this order, and you need ridiculous BP affiliation for it. Because obviously the Lego flyer is a bit tanky on his own, but he also has high attack. You need the high attack, you need the high magic resist, you need the high everything. You have the rare flyers here. These guys need to be able to withstand as much punishment as possible. I have swapped them back and forth, but I was having difficulty getting this Lego flyer with enough health. So it's important. I keep saying that, but I can't stress it enough how important it is to affiliate your demon soldiers properly. And the healer, a higher affiliation means a more effective heal. I was having, with him in the fourth affiliation spot, I was having him heal for 98,000, something like that. And it wasn't as consistent as I would like. And here you saw it was like 101, 103k, something like that. That was consistent enough to get the win. And then, of course, you know, the rare dogs, they don't need to be affiliated that high at all. They just need to trigger ults. And the epic dogs, they just need to get through. This can be a little sketchy, but again, you need these three guys to be where they are. So give me a sec and I'll show you my affiliation heroes. Here we are with the heroes here. First place is going to be Uridin with 114k. He is a ridiculous BP monster. He has tons of attack speed, tons of crit rate, tons of crit damage, and the best affiliating artifact, this Wailing Skull. I will be putting together a video on how to maximize your affiliation gear. You will have to get comfortable with swapping stuff around prior to war and during war, you know, when you're ready to make your attacks. That's just kind of a reality here. If you're wanting to be in Overlord, if you're Overlord aspirant, that's going to be something that is required of you in order to compete here. Here we have Silas. This is number 2 at 103. Spirit Siphon maxed, you know, huge gear. You get the idea. I just really wanted to show you the numbers that made it possible. 101k, 103, almost 104k, 101k, 100 and change. He's a Praetus. he is a Praetus. He's a lord, so there's an extra affiliation bonus when it comes to him. He's typically my second highest in the Demon Soldier affiliation screen, because I think it's a 1.1 times bonus multiplier, something like that. And then Abomination's my only one below 100k. So these are what I use to make my attacks, and whenever I am able to increase their power, that allows me to make more effective attacks in war. So I just wanted that quick note here, and let's get back into the actual attacks. All right, we are back here with another keep defense, another one that people have been struggling with, but it is something that we can hit with a standard bomb. 2 of our members have been successful. I'm not going to try and get creative. I copied the affiliations exactly. We are at the tail end of the war and desperately need points. So I'm just going to go with what is supposed to work, and I should have the affiliations to make it work. So we're going to run it and hope we don't get screwed on timings. What we want to do is break a little bit from form and toss in these epic magic tanks ASAP. Try and set us up properly for the timing down the road. There we go. And then we're going to wait for the 10 cost and dump the bomb package as quick as possible. Go. Then we get back up to 6 cost and toss in our spiders. Perfect. And now, well, these guys aren't looking very in great shape, are they? We want a speed boy. Shit. Well, that wasn't particularly great, was it? I'm not convinced that we wouldn't have messed that up anyway, because the speed boy doesn't make the biggest difference. But I'm curious why. I have the same level magic tanks. So I'm curious why that was a failure. This is not good. Like I said, we desperately need the points. And that's lost. That's very unfortunate here. Really wondering what I could have done differently. I mean, obviously I changed the affiliation order, but I'm not sure. Because here's the thing. We had our magic tanks with the highest affiliation and they got brutalized. So there isn't much I could have done there aside from just have RNG go my way. I've talked about this before, where we have healers that go and run into danger and sometimes they don't. Like it's a little bit ridiculous, the RNG that can be tossed at you in these modes. That's really all I can think of. If you have anything that that you can offer up in the comments as to what I did wrong there, please feel free to let me know. All right, and we are back with hopefully a bit of a palate cleanser. This one, I don't know how this is going to be. In testing, it was kind of a pain, but the BP is pretty low. I've absolutely no idea how much Boreas' damage is going to do here, but the basic idea is to load up Cyrus's block. Cyrus is effectively unkillable with Ezryn backing him up. Ezryn is the machine gunner of healers, and Cyrus can tank unfathomable damage. With his skeletons, he can straight up resist death. He transfers a massive amount of the damage that he takes over to the skeletons, so trying to burst him down is just not an option. And it's kind of weird that there's even a Boreas, or even a Brokkir backing him up here. That would have been, you know, tossing in an Ardea or something. This could have been a far more devastating defense. Of course, you know, I say just toss in an Ardea, one of the most difficult heroes to acquire, but you get the idea, you know, something a bit more malicious. But the idea is to load up Cyrus's block with the magic tank and the big fat boy here, and then we are going to toss in the Necroid Shamans. Depending on how it goes, I'm going to toss in a healer to try and keep them alive, and then throw the dogs at it for the win. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, the BP is lower, so that inspires me with a bit of confidence, but I'm just going to run it. Let's go with it. Oop. Oh, right. It can only be attacked once. I will be right back. All right, and we're back. Another guildie was in the middle of hitting it, and unfortunately, he did lose. He did provide some information for us. I'm getting frustrated. It looks like this war is a loss, and it really shouldn't be, so that kind of gets under my skin, but I wouldn't consider it his fault here. So let's load up and try and avenge our fallen comrade. All right, that gets us our block fillers. Then full necro, baby. Healer to keep everyone going. Now I might drop another healer. We are definitely running low on time. Yeah, I don't like that. It's getting late in the war. Our ability to recreate these defenses has not been going well. And yeah, if you can sense frustration in my voice, it's definitely there. But we'll accept this loss and see how we can regroup. All right, we're back for the revenge attempt here. We're really slim on picking, so I've not got much of a choice but to hit this one again. So we're going to try, with a different affiliation order, try and keep these necroids and the dogs alive a bit longer. That unfortunately means our healer here is affiliated lower. But the issue seems to be Boreas has incredible rage regen, so he's going to have his ult quite frequently. The way to deal with that is to drop the healer affiliation down, I guess, and dump 2 healers in, and hope that's enough. This may affect the order I send units in. I'm probably going to dump in 2, like I had mentioned, so here's hoping. So the question is going to be when to dump the healers. You can see there's slightly different placement here. I'm hoping that has some sort of positive impact. I think I'll hold the healers until I get to 6. And we'll wait on the dogs, because we really don't have a choice. You know what? I think I'm a liar. Yeah, and that didn't work. Boreas is just still too strong. Clearly you want to build him with high rage regen because he's a bit of a menace. Definitely keep that one in mind. All right, I will admit that, you know, it is a bit liberating to know that we definitely lost this war. It's disappointing, of course, but it does offer up a little bit of flexibility when it comes to experimentation. This is something that a previous guildie has failed with, not the entire attempt, but the claw guys. But I know I have a higher affiliation than he does, so I might be able to do some damage to Brokkir and then have the Axis finish him off. And if that's the case, I can just sweep Ajax and probably even Aracha. We're gonna trigger the ults with the rare dog and then try and run on through. So let's give that a go. So right now what we're trying to do is decide, do I want to send in the claws? I don't think so. I think I want to wait so that I can trigger everyone's ults. Hoping that's enough rage. All right, perfect. Would have loved to get Brokkir's while I was at it. And we're basically hoping for the best here. Not looking phenomenal. But the rage meters are not in a terrible position. So I'm gonna try and get this done with the axes. And that just might do it. I know we're going slow here. I just don't want to screw this up any more than I have to. There's not Ajax gone. See what I mean? Of course, I really hate that thing that happens with the mouse. We might... Okay, thank the good Lord. We managed to take a W for this. So I was trying to think through what I could have done to improve the previous attack. And I think what I've come up with is wait a little bit longer so that I can make sure to trigger Brokkir's ult along with the rare dogs. And also possibly send the both counts of the epic dogs in first instead of the Lego flyers. This is going to proc Lili on Aracha. Question is, do I want that? I guess I'll decide in a moment based on where everyone's ults are, because the dogs are a lot more vulnerable than the Lego flyers. So, but last time we managed to fight through Aracha, even though Lili procced on her as well. So, guess we'll see. Definitely want to take in a strategy and an if something goes wrong strategy. And to be perfectly honest, we only get 5 units. Sometimes that alternate strategy is just you lose. You know, you have 3 units and the entire run is dependent on those 3 units. You can't have a full backup plan with the other 2. So it's best to try. It's best to try to have a backup plan that might, I guess, tie into your main strategy, if at all possible. Sometimes it's not possible, but you at least want to consider it. This is also going to stagger the timing of Lili's ult. I don't know if that's going to be useful, but I would sure love it if that was the case. There's Brokkir and my phone. There's Lili's passive. Oh, did we? I think we triggered the iceberg. That's nice. I think we can tank this. There we go. Yeah, and this might go a little bit more smoothly. Or a lot more smoothly. Yeah, I don't care. I was thinking I want to just kill Ajax. I mean, of course I want to, but I don't care. I'm just gonna get the win. Okay, that's nice. I think we have at least 4 wins now. Let's see what else we can grab. Last attack. It's a Harz team. I see Harz. I think Maul. It's another undefeated team, and I really want to take it out. There's been some strategies, some swarm strategies, some claws and axes trying to take him down. Harz is someone that I've underestimated in the past, and I just really don't want to deal with it right now. So I'm going to send in Maul with reinforcements. Send in Maul, possibly someone or maybe a fool to trigger the ults. I'll sort of decide in the moment. Send in Maul, shield him, maybe some axes to try and take down Harz. We're gonna have to do that twice. If I can get the impale, the beautiful true damage, that should be enough to do it. And then the Lego Flyer. This time there's no Lili to defend Ajax, so we'll definitely, hopefully kill him. Depends on who the Lego Flyers target. And run on through with the dogs. That's the plan. That's what we're going to try and make it happen. Let's try and close out this war with a W. All right. So what do we see? Ajax is halfway. Valkyra's ult doesn't really matter for this. But I think we're just going to send in Maul raw. There we go. Now we're going to wait for a fool to drop in some backup. Speed this up a little bit. Unfortunately, the damage hasn't been crazy. That's definitely going to help. It's not been great. It's certainly not been ideal, but it's not been crazy. The CC on the fool is not helping. Speed up a little bit. Get ourselves to our axe here. That's really going to help Maul out. There's the revive. And there's the kill. Okay. So these guys might actually get the win themselves. Oh. That was a beautiful attack. And there we go. There's our W. That's 4 wins, 4 losses. Not my favorite showing. Not a great war for us in general, but it was another learning experience. That's what I try and keep in mind, because this mode it's not exactly set in stone. There's definitely a definitive meta, and up at the top there's a few defenses that people really love going to, and they can be incredibly difficult to beat. And we've seen a few of those in this war, and they have been very difficult to beat. Some of them are very RNG screwy, and those are honestly my least favorite, period. But the more exposure that we can get to them, the better we'll be at dealing with them, and that's something that we want to see. This is an Overlord aspirant guild. Unfortunately, this means we're probably, I think definitely, getting kicked out of Overlord for this season. So I'm very salty about that. But we're going to need to learn how to deal with all of this stuff in order to not just get to Overlord, but to stay in Overlord for the whole season. That's the goal. That's what we're going to do in Season 4, you mark my words. So the more of these hellish defenses that we can get accustomed to, the better. All right, what did I tell you? That's, well, it was pretty rough, wasn't it? It's the last week of season 3. It's been a rough journey, but regardless of what happens here, whether I did my math wrong or not, if we win this and we can keep pushing and get Overlord in season 3, that would be fantastic. I'd honestly be ecstatic if that happened. Season 4, we'll definitely be making some changes and be pushing harder than ever before. You can expect whatever quality of content that I have been giving you to continue and improve ever so slightly, video by video. That's the hope anyway. So yeah, please definitely... Just a short aside here, I am diagnosed OCD, so certain things, like when I say definitely over and over again, they just stick out into my brain. I know you probably don't care. I felt the need to share that for whatever reason. It's I say definitely over and over again, and I think, what? Why the hell am I doing that? This is what you get when you sign up for a neurodivergent content creator. Speaking of, in the description and on my channel, I have a link for a coffee shop that I have spun up, Mosaic Brains Coffee, that is intended to support myself, of course, but the neurodivergent creator community, I suppose. I'm still working on it, but if you could at least visit, I'd love if you buy some product, but if you could at least visit and drive up some traffic and maybe share with coffee aficionados in your life, that would mean a lot to me. I'd appreciate that quite a bit. So thank you very much for joining us here. Definitely stay tuned for more GvG content as we close out the week with the final war creeping up on us in 3, 2,